It's about 1. Almost 1 on the 21st of September 2020. I'm just sitting here 2 blocks away from the apartment, just relaxing, trying to, tap into some positive energy. Figured this is a community garden, so here's where work was done. So theoretically there's good energy here. So I forgot about Pre-Vinny's issues from whatever, injuries or whatever. So I forgot that, well, he's a little bit like his penis. You have to take special care when you piss and shit. So I tuck it away, I'm all layered up, and 2 layers of pants on, and piss down my left leg. It's like, what, man, talk about defeating the Halston, right? So, what we have at play here on a large scale is reciprocity wars. Yeah, you got entities that rose up against retarded people like me from the church. And that dude was just snapping a picture of me, so we'll just go ahead and we'll get for who I am. Yeah, maybe he was filming the stuff, I don't know. Or he could just be rusing it up now, pretending like that's what he was doing. But anyway, so we got them. They operate on a level of evil we can't understand. And they literally prove as time goes by that they're against us who exist. You see? So they'll put people out of their homes, drive them from their ministries, and then say, oh, well, your family, your kiddies that were took from you, you can come see them on the weekends when we're not home or when we're at church. And immediately, that gets proven to be lies, fairy tales. Because then they take off for the weekend and leave your kiddies unmanned, locked in a house all weekend. Nobody to open the door for them on the nice day, during the day. Nobody to sit the litter for them. Nobody to keep them company or keep them from fighting with each other. Just, willy-nilly, we'll do whatever we want to do with this dude's situation, with this dude's ministry. And it's just like, hey, we don't want to work the ministry, but we don't want you to have it, that mentality, We don't want to be as committed to it as you were. We don't feel like there's any level of that, there's any reason for that level of commitment, that mentality, right? So I kind of love this because, well, they did all this to Pre-Vinny, and as they do it to me, they're doing it to another timeline entity. They're literally assaulting another timeline by assaulting me, by continuing on in it, right? Which it delivers the possibility for the reciprocity as covered in the Revelation of John against their demographics. And the one demographic is no different than the other demographic, you know. It's like you got those that will do what's been done to us and just via their omission and neglect, you know, what's happening to the animals. And then you got those who are being led via the spirit of reciprocity, the energy of it, to do to them what's been done to us. And that's what's happening on a mass scale right now, is the reciprocity wars. What they have come and pillaged from us now will be pillaged from them. And you can pray against it all you want, but you're actually praying against God's will. That's 75 down there. Yeah, as well. God is a descriptive. So yeah, just knowing what's in my timeline, or you know, I'm from, and what's not there is even more important. And these demographics that are polluting the collective consciousness, you know, the face of the universe, have now targeted themselves. Because while, you know, those who are coming against the other demographic, they don't make it to the next timeline either. So they get time looped as their victims. And some of the entities that are willing to do a real-time reciprocity here in the 3D, I imagine the suffering that will happen to them will relieve them of some of what they're owed, or what they owe in the time loops, what they would have faced. You know, I don't know if it's going to do anything about relieving them of spiritual execution. And that's why you don't murder entities in this timeline. You don't do anything for revenge, because, well, you don't want to interfere with the spirit scan and the results. And that's why you let God have his vengeance, you know, Yahweh, Yeshua. So it's a nice day out. It's mid-60s here in northern Michigan, the heart of northern Michigan. They call this town the heart of the north. It's kind of weird. My sister's down in Florida where it's hot. It's like, she's got the beautiful sunny day, but man, it's hot and oppressive. It's like, you know, humid. I was like, gotta wait another month or two for it to cool off down there. I don't know if I'm still hanging here in this timeline. I might, you know, head down that way for a week or two, visit down there, something. I don't know. Just seems like a waste to hang out here and let, you know, I mean, hey, he's not even getting contracted to man his kitties when, you know, they leave him, you know, for days at a time. So, when it comes down to he's not going to be able to be with his dog every day, well, there's really no reason to stay in this area, right? I don't know. Maybe some girl will manifest or something before then, to where he can go over and pick the dog up in the morning, because Lisa's not going to be able to go out. So yeah, those days are approaching when there's a whole nother can of worms just to stay in here, trying to maintain any level of, you know, positive energy. That it's like something always happens to mess with the energy level, in case y'all haven't noticed it. It's like we had stuff coming together in March, and then all this happened. And then, you know, in June we were recovering, well, in May, and then you know, there was the chance for good stuff to happen in the summer, and then that stuff had to get pulled, where suddenly we went back to church. So there's a reason that you got to leave. We can't share this big house with you all of a sudden, you know. I mean, and it's like, why? You don't want to do all the stuff I have to do for these animals, yo. So it's like, what, are they just supposed to suffer now? Is their quality of life supposed to be diminished, so that y'all can, you know, turn what was a ministry house into just a normal, I don't know, I don't even know what you call it, what you know, people do that have no purpose, and, you know, their lives and resources don't fulfill any purpose. What do you call it, man? Failing your pre-existence? Surely you didn't come here just to fucking sit around, right? Or socialize and party. Surely there was a reason you got born. You see. And this is just, it's a wretched mess. You know, this is what entities like Pre-Vinny have been dealing with in this timeline. Is this, you know, there's no participation against it. They're either doing it or they're ignoring it. So it's like, okay, one's just as bad as the other. So, okay, I guess I'm gonna stop because I don't want to pick up anybody else's conversation in our audio. Be photobombed. He's eating a stick. He's just trying to have a moment of peace here. There may be energy against it, I don't know. I'm half tempted to ignore it because, you know, more than half the shit here is welfare phantoms anyway. They don't even exist. They're feeling their pre-existence here right now. You got a bug? Here's what I thought. I didn't think you had any bugs. Well, on the bright side, the outcome of this is we get rid of all the welfare phantoms and evil people that would begrudge seeing you have happy moments. I don't know, the type who would spread fucking some kind of weird nasty scent all over a place they see you sitting because they can't stand to see it. Because, well, they're controlled by Satan, aka the ancient AI that Lucifer and Yeshua hate. Yeah. We're here to get those Satan worshiping motherfuckers. Yeah, and they're on all levels. They're in the church too. They do a lot of self-serving shit. And I guess I'm not really trying to like get hooked up in like a big hookup like a family and shit. For Pre-Vinny, I don't want him to be shocked. He comes back here and he's got to interact with 30 people he didn't even know, you know, or anticipate having to interact with. That's why I wouldn't want to put together no huge following for him while he's gone, for him to have to answer to online. It's like I don't do any content that could drive his numbers up. Even though I have the information. I mean, of course, you know, people are stupid, so there's not a lot of entities that will accept the truth. You see what I'm saying? So, I warmed up a little bit. It's closer to 70. I should have gave him another bat this morning, but I didn't have the stuff. At least it didn't bring me the containers. Yeah, I put this half a doobie into this stem here. Let's see how we are next timeline. We'll sit here for spite and breed the shit for the reciprocity. Make sure this white devil gets called from the herd, never makes it to the next timeline. Because, well, if he's that mean-spirited, then he can't be allowed to exist beyond here. This is pre-existence mode. The next timeline is second pre-existence mode. It's like getting to the next level of this video game. The sad thing is the thought of any entities that don't deserve it getting caught up in it, you know? How that would have to be fixed. You know? See, it's like entities that are like the ones in power now who want to do shit. Because there's so many foul entities that need to be dealt with. They could literally work with us true entities from the next timeline and cull the herd of all that and possibly prolong, you know, this timeline's span, you know, instead of the close approaching crash point. I say that 5 times fast. Close approaching crash point. Close approaching crash point. Close approaching crash point. See, I can't do it. I just coined the phrase. I'm not gonna copyright it or nothing, no. Or patent it. I imagine it's copyright from the moment I say it and put it online. But you know, there's entities here who don't deserve anything bad to happen to them. They took good care of their families. They raised their kids right, and their kids did good shit. They did shit right. They didn't hurt no animals. They actually helped animals. They may not have been engaged in ministries or supporting ministries, but they didn't negatively affect anything. And those entities, we need to pray for a protective bubble to be over them. Yes, we pray for that. Yeshua, Yahweh. Yeah, that those who were not omissive not be lumped in with those who were. Those who were not guilty not be lumped in with them. And we lose blessings and protective angels in the heaven and earth to protect them. And we bind up all negative energy that could be directed at them and all negative things. Okay, now there's a line. If they cross that line with those entities, you see what I'm saying? It creates a need to investigate what you have deemed as your enemy, so to speak. Yeah. So after yesterday's bombardment of negative energy today, I'm in better control of the bubble, the energy bubble. Part of it is, pardon me, less physical problems, you know, in the gut. The thing that feels like a blood clot in the head isn't so pronounced today, so that's not like aggravating as hell. And then just the lack of expectations from myself, like, oh, you know, I'm gonna walk Aslan a certain amount, blah 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 blah. He doesn't even really need it. You see how happy he is just to sit in the shade. He just likes to be outside. Like when I let him out to go potty, back when I had you know, pre-Vinny did, he had a home. He'd just go out in the backyard and lay it out, man, because he just wants to go outside and hang out. And that's what we were trying to do in this timeline for pre-Vinny, was get him a ranch where he could move his kitties to. And, you know, then he could put a kitty door, because, well, there's a lot of property. They can go outside. They won't come near our road or other people's property, you know? Yeah, let's set this camera down so we don't freak these people out on the bus. Let's still keep it going now. Yeah. On bus days, there's always a lot of bus traffic through here. So you know when the buses ain't running Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, we're not having a fight against such negative energy today. Things look more dire today than they have in a while. Because, well, I pissed through a lot of pre-Vinny's money, and he don't have no left now. Got like maybe $5 to buy a few groceries or something. I imagine he's gonna have to hit Lisa up for a pack of smokes. I will. I'll probably still be here. I can't see switching off, making him endure this yet. I haven't softened the blow in any way. But I do feel like an energy of begrudgment against Vinny being here. And it's not just coming from him. I know that, you know, he didn't want to come here. He didn't want this. He was so against it that the morning of coming here to do the lease, just for me to force his body to do it, I had to stop at a gas station and get a Mike's Hard Lemonade and guzzle it. just to force myself to go in and sign a lease and walk all this temporary timeline bullshit out. It's, monkey paw fate worse than death shit to Vinny, Then it just felt wrong. It felt so wrong. To sign a lease where a dude can't be a musician for a year. He can't write his songs and record them for a year. He will not have a place to take his kiddies to have a visit with his only family, besides his sister, really, for a year. You see? Isn't it sad? That's a long time when everything's coming to an end. It's like you signed off to retire at the most crucial moment. When things are the most crucial. It's not totally his fault. There's 2 girls that could have hooked up with him from this town. They could have became a powerhouse trio like Triumph or something, back in their day. They wouldn't have sounded like Triumph, but they might have would have did a Triumph cover song, just raped the shit out of it. Because they had the option of the talent between the 3 of them. And the vocal range, you see. So it's like, the ability to do powerhouse shit like that was there. We just have to work hard to do it, We'd have to decide we want to work hard and do harder, more dynamic songs and try and, we bring something to our audience that other bands aren't bringing. And we would have got notorious for that. Maybe some of them old school acts would have even fucking wanted to see to it that we got hooked up to do a cover of one of their songs, right? Because we would have did at least one cover where we blew people's minds like that. And then Jesse and Nikki are hot, so it's they would have wanted to pull them into the system to take advantage of them, try and get them addicted to adrenochrome and heroin and crack and have them fucking sucking their dicks and riding them, right? Because, that's what they're all about. They don't care about their talent. You see, I did. I wanted to act as a buffer between them and what the industry is. But I don't know if they would... I think they would rebel against it, to where, we wouldn't want them to be separated from me, or for me to be incapacitated in any way while we have company. Wouldn't want to take drinks from anybody, wouldn't want to get up close on anybody if they look like they got something in their hands, because, they can blow that powder in your face and take control of your will. It's made from scopolamine and a few other agents. And it's designed to work fast. And they're mastering using it. You see? So we could have been big by now where we were prepared. We had our horses, we had our artillery, we had our, our cachet points, we had our, thermal imaging, repellent tarps set up, we were good to go. We had our foxholes dug. Because they're military brass, they're from around here. And, there's just things that they can find out, and people that will keep quiet and not say a word to nobody that they could recruit to help us set up. So by now we could have had 4 or 5 secret properties around here, had our kinfolk set up to where, okay, you can go over there, but you're not going to know where we're going to go in case, you decide to snitch us out. Because, people will be betraying people, especially when they get caught. They will decide that, hey, we're saved, you should get saved too, that mentality, you see. And you got to remember that this is staged, what Lucifer's going to do, to act as ultimate buffer or final time for Yeshua against Satan, aka the ancient AI. And that the Armageddon fall is a staged event. Yes. And the Lake of Fire is actually Stargate. John wrote what he saw, and he saw Stargate. He just thought it was a lake of fire, because that's all he had to compare it to. And wailing and gnashing of teeth. When you get into the time loops as your victims, you're going to be wailing as your victims. Yes, you will. When you're fucking being time looped as slaves after that, because that's your final time loops, I imagine, is you be slaves. And you pay back the mechanism. Everything that went into your pre-existence here, because you wouldn't benefit it. You took from it. You see. You even have to pay back the property you desecrated. That's why you try not to desecrate property. Alright, y'all. He gets stuff out his nose. He just loves this. He gets all these little bugs all over my hair. I don't know what's up. You don't ever like stay on him or get deep in his fur. I'm never washing none of those off of him. He's such a good little puppy. He's good natured. And he does just love shit, you know. He loves life. All animals should be made to feel as happy as he is. And the fact that they're not is a statement against their species. Well, the subspecies that passes for the dominant species here in this timeline anyway. Motherfuckers should be ashamed that other timelines see that there's 70 million homeless animals, there's tortured animals, there's fucking rape and murder. They should be ashamed that they glamorize that shit in videos and that their entertainers get away with it. They should be ashamed about the spirit memory of the children that have been tortured at these ceremonies for their fucking adrenalized blood. It's like, man, oh man. And people should be ashamed and embarrassed that they supported this with their need. Because they were feeble-minded, they needed to be entertained. That's how they got away with it. Make you feeble-minded enough to need to be entertained. And then supply you the entertainment. Make you sick and then supply you the treatment. You see? And I wish I could find like a celebrity that didn't have no negative karma. I don't know, someone like Sarah Paulson, because, well, she's already set up and she's already served. If she didn't have no negative karma, she could, like, help me do everything I was supposed to do with, Pre-Venny was supposed to do with the other girls. And, never manifested, never wanted to get with the program. We could go ahead and, like, get some ranches and places set up. And, some horses and stuff, all the stuff that we need. Get ready to blast, you see? So I don't know why I thought of Sarah Paulson. I just saw a video about her today. She's supposedly a witch. And all these witches that use their energy against, us, they need to like, change sides. They need to do it quick. And if they have any supernatural spiritual power, they need to apply it in a proper manner to a proper cause. You getting bored out here, buddy? Huh? He likes to take naps out here too. He'll sleep for about 20 minutes and wake up as soon as he hears something that he's nosy about. I guess I'll smoke some more of this roach and take him in. Put this video together for you guys and put it out there. That's what we're reduced to doing now. I'm sorry about the music releases stopped. They're not going to be happening. There might be a couple jazz songs in spite of it, but it's really hard to pull the energy for the music to create anything awesome. It's just, I don't know. Just the lack of wanting to write a composition and, write the drums out, wanting to recycle drums and shit like that, just starting it off like that. It's a dampened, diluted energy. Why even bother, Maybe we just take a break from it. That's why I'm doing it in the next timeline. Yeah. With the girls who didn't want to do it here, but I don't think it's the same spirits. I think they just look like them. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. If any thought he found them, it's kind of giggly. Because if he did, well, surely by now, damn, it's been 11 years. Things are about to hit a crash point here. I'm afraid to look because I don't want to see. Are they even more fucking zombified than ever? Are they even further out of reach? I don't know. I think Pre-Venny's beyond reaching, and so am I. He's done all he can do, short of fucking physically stalking her, man. It's like, made her feel nervous about him even looking at her online. So it's like, hey, well, okay, well, if that's the energy you're getting from it, then hey, Just won't look then. Fuck it. You know. Alright. Imagine we should go in and try and polish up some lunch. There's a little bit of hamburger meat left that's going to get old if I don't fry it up. I only got a can of chili and a half a can of soup, some Frosted Flakes, and some stuff in the freezer like some hot dogs. Low on mustard and shit. It's not just about getting money, it's about getting to the store and having the right energy when you're in there to properly shop. Otherwise, you buy a bunch of dumb shit and you don't get everything you needed. Yeah, I'm back. Doing a vaporizer test. That one's a little hard to get to start up for some reason. The things that are not appreciated about Vinny in this timeline are appreciated about me in the next timeline. And I think that's why he's had to adopt the transgender entity, Cassandra here. That Annie fully stands ready to fill in as her. He's a little bit clingy. Here's a good puppy. What'd you do with your ball, huh? Where's that puppy's ball? So it's like pre-Vinny those in existence, pre-existence of always waiting for hammers to drop. Not necessarily waiting for them, but knowing that eventually they will. And this is kind of one of those situations where it will be easy for him to get in his head and for it to just get real sour here real quick, you see. Because he's got no outlet now. Now that the music has been taken. He's got no purpose now that his ministries have been taken, other than revenge. The concept of revenge, right? We accomplish it. He does it. I don't know how. But he does what is prophesied he will do. And okay, being prepared to be an entity on a level that's like, regarded as evil. But you gotta remember, we're in an era of a temporary timeline that was described as the most vile entities that ever breathed the air are here. And they're given the opportunity to redeem themselves with a pre-existence. And instead of doing that, what have they done? They solidified, that, hey, wow, this has to happen. We had to bring them here to protect the real world, to protect the next timeline, the decompression timeline where, we know that everything has been purged from our memories. We do that with the books about these entities here that get time looped and get undone. It's the teaching, okay? And, okay, he's ready to fulfill this, this transgender entity. He can do it. Take very few hormones to get him on the right path, a little bit of plastic surgery, some laser hair removal procedure, hair restoration. If he has, any body fat, which you won't, you'll play hell finding some. transfer it to his ass, to bring back the youthful bubbliness he used to have. Yeah, I'm seeing two people walk back by now. One of them's that fucking girl I saw, and she just spit like a fucking cow. It's like, you know. She was probably walking up last night looking for that dude. I seen him walk by earlier. Just looking like, well, they're on the other side of the street even. But you know that they're from the apartment complex down there on this side, ghetto apartment complex. It's like, ugh. You're a female and you're walking down the street spitting on the ground. Oh, that's nasty. That's very distracting too. So yeah. What was we saying? I actually played it and then I remembered while it was playing before I got to it. We were talking about the books. Yeah. And the next timeline, the teaching. How do you think they happen? You see, this and experiencing what welfare phantoms who don't even exist would do, and letting them occur the death, get time looped and spiritually executed to never get born, then writing a fact-based novel from the pre-existent timeline in the next timeline, but because they've been undone, they never got born. Nothing they did ever happened. It got undone. And it's a beautiful, awesome fiction novel. And the only entities who know that it's not fiction are like the select few who actually came here and see, wow, this book is based on what really happened in the previous timeline. You see, this is based on somebody who really did fail pre-existence. And this is how, because only those few can know, and I think those few are maintenance spirits for this simulation of the universe. This is in a life museum in the real world, and it's still active years in the future. There's no concept of time there. Because all the time loops are still happening for millennia, quadrillions of millennia after this all played out. Because while this already played out, I'm here from after it already played out. And look how, other entities are afraid to acknowledge it, even though they know that they are one. And they know that they're jumping back and forth. They know that they're doing dual timelines. And they're afraid to accept it, so they don't wrap their mind around it physically, and they don't adapt to become utilized. They're not utilizable. So, the only way they're going to know is in the next timeline, having read the books. You see? Because, they won't accept it here. Now. They won't accept it. And, hey, Vinny didn't accept it. He didn't trust me the first time we saw each other on the astroscape. I helped him chase some entities down, and together we did some stuff to him. He trusted me after that. Yeah. And then when he got to go be me in the future timeline that we graduate to, oh man, he was just so dumbfounded. It's like he died and went to heaven. He had the girls, he had the music act, he had the success, There was no tortured animals. There was no rap or sports or video games or computers or cell phones and, no dumb people, no stupid zombies, no news, no TVs. It's like, wow, it was so beautiful. It was like, to see a music act, you had to come see them live, you see. There was none of this bullshit broadcasting, you see, airing, none of that. And the fame is not like it is here in this timeline. It's like, you still have productivity, expectancy to live up to, no matter what you can do with your talent. That is not required here. If it was, there'd be a whole lot more appreciation for the privilege, right? And the privilege to be paid more than an educator to de-educate your fans and devolve them in every way, psychologically, mentally, and with the sub-frequencies of the man up against the nanobots, physically. So I know that Pre-Vinny is predisposed unwillingly to adversity and the spirit of it causing people to feel that way about him. People who can't get what they want out of him immediately or whatever will dislike him. People who should appreciate him don't. People who should want to interact with him don't. People who do interact with him do it because they want to antagonize him or some shit. I got a button here. There we go. Is that better? Or was it working better before? I had it set with a little tree and the sunlight hitting it, whatever that is. See, I don't know nothing about your shit. We don't play with this shit in the next timeline. We don't take pictures. We see shit. We experience it. There's no porn. Oh, did that just break your heart? You don't want to go there then, do you? There's no videos of animals getting tortured. No, you don't want to go there then, do you? There's no Xbox or none of this dumb shit that has these retards sitting around playing with little joysticks. You see? Now you see why so many have to be cold. Because what are they going to do there anyway, right? I mean, you gave millions of dollars, fame, fortune, and influence, and what do? I don't know, that's Snoop Slavey Dog. Because what the man said, you do not be beneficial with your fame and fortune. You continue to afflict. And when you're not afflicted, sit down and play video games. Yeah. Keep your mouth shut until we tell you what to say. We'll give you some more bites. We'll put you on Instagram, Instago. We'll make sure you got to say some stuff against us who you sit at the table with. Okay, because in the house. Yeah, because how do you pretend to be racist against motherfuckers that gave you everything, including their women, right? You gotta be dumb. You wanna bite the hand that feeds you. I don't want you to be able to feed me no more. Let me bite you. Rah, 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 I'm a bad dog. I don't appreciate them steaks. While people of your color are eating fucking from the can and you're begrudging them that. You don't want to give them that canned shit no more. It makes them sick. You don't want to give them them nasty fucked up corn dogs that make them sick. Can't even eat a box of them without fucking experiencing a week of pain. It's like that. Alright, y'all. These cameras are going nowhere. I remember my first time seeing this one. It's like, an upgrade. But then when you went to film the stuff that's cloaked in the air with it, it's designed not to film it. And do you know, lately, I've noticed going outside to hit a cigarette in the middle of the night, looking up in the sky. There's two orange lights. They're not satellites because they're not orbiting. They're in our atmosphere, but they're there, solid, sitting there like a star. And there's two orange ones now, imitating stars. And when you take this camera, this more expensive, gadgety, doodaddy camera, and you try to focus in on that shit, when it gets too close, it just gets all blurry and shit, and the colors start flickering, changing colors to like make your camera not be able to focus in on it. But you can focus in on the moon with this thing and see craters and shit, you know. It's weird. It's 52 times zoom, which is a lie, because if it's starting out at like 3 times zoom, it ain't. It's only 49 times zoom. But man, it's just like everything's based on lies here, ain't it? They'll lie to you to your face while they're, you know, trying to, you know, endear your trust. It's pretty tripped out. So yeah, with that cheaper camera, that it's packed away somewhere. It's a 720. It runs on 4 AAA batteries, and when you pan back and forth across the sky, what they're hiding behind the chemtrails, and sometimes the chemtrail will be, you know, like the white haze that they got in the sky. That'll be up above it. It'll still be like way below it, but somehow I know that haze is helping hide it. And then when the reflection of the sun goes across the camera and it crosses one of those things that are a cloaked flying, you know, sometimes it's a drone, sometimes it's a helicopter with, you know, cloaking on and silence, you can see them with that cheap camera. For those of you who got one of them cheap handheld, I think they were called Canons or something. You can buy them at Walmart. They have a thing that flips out and you hold them. They take 4 AAA batteries and an SD card, a 2 gigabyte SD card. And when you're filming with one of those, you might find that the less pixel capability makes it able to pick up stuff that's there that the enhanced pixel capability won't. And I haven't tried turning the pixel capability down in this because I don't want to fuck with all that. I won't remember how to set it back. So that is something you could do, just to see if there's anything above you. If there's nothing above your property, you know, that you can't see, because you're not going to see it with thermal imaging shit. They have that mastered to repel. You're not going to see it with an expensive camera because they're designed to be compliant to what they want them to do. So the more modern it is, the more crippled it is against doing this. So you gotta get one of them. All the old ones, they probably discontinued them, but you can still find them like on eBay and shit. They come in different colors. They're kind of crappy, but if you're gentle with them, they'll last you a long time. Alright, y'all. I said that a long time ago, didn't I? 2 or 3 times. This time it's for real. Maybe I'll put something at the end of this, I don't know.
I'm looking at you through the glass. Don't know how much time has passed. Oh God, it feels like forever. And no one ever tells you that forever feels like home. Sitting all alone inside your head. How do you feel? That is the question. But I forget you don't expect an easy answer. When something like a soul becomes initialized and folded up like paper dolls and little notes, you can't expect a bit of function while you're outside looking in, describing what you see. Remember what you're staring at is me. So looking at you through the glass, don't know how much time has passed. All knows that it feels like forever, and no one ever tells much is real, so much to question. An epidemic of the mannequins contaminating everything. And if that came from the heart, it never did right from the start. Just listen to the noises and all of the voices before you tell yourself it's just a different scene. Remember, it's just different from what you've seen. Looking at you through the glass, don't know how much time has passed. Oh Lord, it feels like forever. No one ever tells you that forever feels like home. Sitting all alone inside your head. So looking at you through the glass, don't know how much time has passed. Oh God, it feels like forever. And no one ever tells you that forever feels like home. Sitting all alone inside your head. And it's the stars that shine for you. Yeah, it's the stars who lie to you. Looking at you through the glass, don't know how much time has passed. Oh God, it feels like forever. No one ever tells you that forever feels like home. Sitting all alone inside your head. I'm looking at you through the glass, don't know how much time has passed. Oh God, it feels like forever. And no one ever tells you that forever feels like home. Sitting all alone inside your head.